Okay, kind of hard to see, but I did make it all the way around, and it is a little bit different than the white of the paper. Now I'm ready for a little bit darker of a value of blue. So, a little bit more blue mixed in this whole blob of white. I'm going to make another ring around that moon. This time as I'm painting, I want to keep going over the line where they meet. I want to blend it. I don't want to see that white and then a ring of the next value. As I get up towards the top, you can see that I'm actually going to go off the paper because the moon is up in this corner. That's okay, I'm still going in that circle, working over the top of that first ring, and it's really starting to blend nicely. I'm ready for another value. So more blue. Every time I'm just doing a little bit more blue, just getting a little bit darker value. And now you can really see that change. So again, I'm going to keep blending that, going over the top of the circles before, trying to make that line where they touch disappear. I don't want to have a ring. I want to keep working over my spot. Again, as I get to this top, I'm really going off the paper, but I'm continuing to make sure I have that nice, smooth paint line. Going over those spots, trying to get those colors to blend. This is the trickiest part of today. It's making those colors blend. Another scoop. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make it darker. Add some more blue. By the time you get to the outside edge of your paper, it should be almost to just the blue that came out of the paint bottle. So again, I'm still just going in circles around that moon. I'm not going back and forth or up and down as I'm painting. Blending those colors that are already on here. Oh, haha, it happens every time. If you get a smear on there, don't worry. We will just create part of our tree branch to cover that up. Nobody will even see it. So up in this corner, I definitely have to get some blending. Looking better. Oh. Always a way to fix that. Just keep going over it. Okay, I think I'm ready for a little bit darker value. More blue. So it really is just a pattern of adding a little more blue at a time and blending, blending, blending. Okay, I think I'm ready for maybe just my last parts on this bottom. Slide it up so you can see really well. More blue. I did add a couple of scoops this time to really get that color to change. Just blending, blending, trying to make those lines disappear. And I am getting really close to just using that blue. I think I'm going to go for it. I lost track of how many values I mixed, but I would say somewhere around 5 times you're going to want to scoop more color into the white to get all those values. There we have it. My finished piece. Now I'm ready for the tree. We're ready to add the branch onto our value shaded sky. So to begin, we're going to start in pencil, and I'm going to find that example that I made. So here it is. I want to look on the board at those branch examples, and you will see that the branch for this project is going to have to start off the page. Otherwise it's going to look like it's floating. So I'm going to start it with a line, and it does not have to be straight, and that line should definitely touch through part of the moon. I want my branch to be 2 lines thick. So at the edge of the paper, it's going to be thicker, and as it comes out, it's going to get skinnier. And I'm trying to cover this little blob that I had from my oops when I was painting. So I'm going to make my branch kind of make a Y at the end, and I'm going to cover up that blob in that Y. Your branch can just come straight out if you'd like. On that branch, I'm going to have a few limbs, again, 2 lines thick, and they come and get skinnier towards the end. The more branches you make, the more realistic the tree will look. And those branches can have branches. And again, there's that Y shape that we've learned about maybe in 2nd grade, 3rd grade. There's a Y. Those branches can even have branches if you'd like. And again, mostly they go into Ys. The more you add, the more realistic the tree will look. Extra things that you can choose to add, but you don't have to. An owl, or maybe even some bats flying in the sky. So if you want to add those things, an owl should definitely be sitting on a branch. So I kind of start with a curved line, and I make an oval bottom, kind of making it look symmetrical. And for this project, it's pretty effective if you just leave the eyes white. And if you want to add that beak in there, you could, and that would also be just white. Bats would be a circle, 2 triangles. I make a sad face on both sides, and then the letter M kind of stretch out. And your bats could be big, they could be small as they get further away. Once you have those things drawn in pencil, we're going to start with black paint. And most of you have a brush that's about this size. If you have something super, super tiny and need some really tiny fine details, you will find some extra brushes out on the counter to use. So as we're painting, we want to think about nice, steady lines. So we don't want to be all choppy and bumpy. You want to have a smooth line. And you want to use paint to fill that in. If your paint's getting kind of ucky looking, that just means you need more. As I'm getting further in this painting, I'm realizing I'm definitely going to want that smaller brush for these tiny little detailed spots. The owl. If you choose to have an owl, I would circle those eyes first so they stay white. And if you want the beak to show up white, do that as well. And then you can kind of fill in that outer shape. Again, owls and bats are optional. You don't have to have them. Now that I have everything kind of painted, I'm going to use this tiny brush and add a couple more branches. Really skinny. That's going to help this look even more realistic. Trees at this time of the year, you see lots of branches in the moonlight. Again, I'm just making a lot of Ys. Some of them are upside down, some of them are sideways. When your project is finished and your name tag is on there, it can go in your drying rack spot.